I'm so excited that you're here today. I'm your host, Tonya Hofmann, and as always, I have an incredibly fabulous guest star, Mr. Elliot Kay. Hey, Elliot.
Hi, you normally say Elliot Kay from the UK.
Exactly. And you will get to meet Elliot at this year's Public Speakers Conference in London, England, UK. So, yay, Elliot.
That's my London conference dance.
Love it.
I trained for years to be able to do that.
I could tell. There's lots of practice. I know.
Yeah.
It's so funny because, as soon as I said I was going to London, people were like, oh, is Elliot going to speak there? Are you going to see Elliot while you're there? I'm like, wow, you came to one of my conferences and it's the whole Elliot show the whole time. People love you.
I am honored and flattered by that, truly. And, it's like anything. It's a bit like, what do people say about you when you're not in the room? And that's a great compliment to me. Actually, you never mention everybody said anything nice. They just asked if you're going to see me. So maybe I'm jumping to conclusions here, But no, when I spoke in Vegas, it was great. And I really connected a lot of people, person to person. It wasn't always about, hey, come to my course. It was actually, how can we support each other? And I really loved that. And I think that's something very unique about the events you put on. It's very person to person and human to human. And on top of that is the speaking stuff. So I think that's a really nice angle. And the proof is in the pudding. The fact these people are, you can see earlier, A, they remembered me. And B, they were like, are you going to see him? So that's good news too. So that's great. Thank you so much. It's so nice to hear.
Exactly. I know it. A lot of times we only hear like the negative stuff about, things. And then it's great when someone actually tells us when people say things that are nice.
That is nice. That's nice. Because as far as I know, there is no negativity about me. There's been nothing, never ever a bad word said. So, I only hear the positive stuff.
There you go. That's what we should do.
I know, right? But we live in a real world, right?
Yes. Sometimes too real, but
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I asked you to be a part of this year's conference because I was really blown away by a couple things when you were at the conference last time, is just how energetic you were on stage, how much people really connected to you and your message. And then also the level of relationship building that you wanted. So those are really the top three things that, is how I kind of pick who comes and speaks at my events. Do they have those qualities? And sometimes you really don't know until they're on stage, but it was like, check, check, check for you.
Yay. Well, there's several things, like when we first connected and that you invited me to speak, we had our own arrangement between us. There's a couple of things that I strongly believe. Number one, my word is my bond, right? And it doesn't matter what outcomes are and if things worked out the way I wanted them. If I've given my word, that's everything. So I gave my word to come and we had an agreement on sales and I gave my word on that. And even one of the attendees, Becky, I gave my word to speak in person next time I was in America, even though she offered me Zoom. So I literally drove to Vegas from LA, because I was in LA at the time, to do a 20-minute presentation to come back because I gave my word. Actually, it's 40 minutes because I gave my word. And that's the thing. And I think what you're alluding to is part of the reason that I connect so well with people. A, because I have a vested interest in people. And B, is because, I think part of the reason you invited me back is because I'm true to my word. What I say I'm going to deliver, I deliver. What I say I'm going to offer, I'm going to offer. When we discuss things like commissions, I'm going to do it. And I think that's I think that to you means a lot, the space you're in, because there's a lot of people who are BSs, who don't fulfill, or they'll go, hey, I didn't get what you said. There wasn't 101 people in the room. There's only 95. So I refuse to do this, this, and this. And, to me, when we first connected, part of me was like, okay, is this a long-term relationship? Is this a J curve? Am I going to invest everything up front and rewards will come later? And when I looked at it and I met you and then it was like a yes, yes, yes. So I had my own tick list. And I think a lot of times speakers can become too short-sighted. What's my fee? Am I going to get paid? How much am I say? Oh, you want commission too? And it's like, well, what's the bigger play here? What's the long picture here? And the fact we clicked and we both ticked each other's lists, I think was the great thing. And, you know, I really love people. And I do, I love, because I know it's a bit of a cliche, I really love what I do. And so it's not hard for me to spend 5 days connecting with people, meeting people. When people need my support, they ask me questions. I'm not saying book a session. I'll just share my knowledge. What will be, right? And I think that's part of the reason why it worked the way it did. And sometimes it irks me. I hope people understand that terminology. Irks when speakers are just about, hey, what are you paying me? No. It's like, well, why are you speaking if you're not at service? Exactly. Why are you getting on stage if you're not there to impact people? Sure, we all want the big fee, but you know what? Well, we work to a different model anyway. We do fee, free, or flee, right? So that's our free models that we talk about a lot. But, you know, it's just, I think people have perspectives on why they're on stage sometimes, even if they're massively established, you know, which we both are, but I'm talking about the ones that command like the 50, 100,000 pounds.
I know people still, they can't believe that Les Brown came to my first conference and I didn't pay him a dime, right? He used that opportunity to connect with the audience and offer them something, you know, that they can buy into later. So, you know, a lot of times people have this idea of what it is to be a professional speaker.
Right. And, you know, the industry's changed, Tonya, right? So much. 20 years ago, show up, get paid. Yeah, because the corporate industry was like that, because there was this notion of you get paid to speak and people put budgets. But now, literally, the models I'm talking about is shifted. Unless you're Branson, Sugar, Oprah, then you can't. I mean, a hugely successful businessman in a certain area, like Gary Vee, people like that, they command the fees. But people are interested in paying those fees if you can bring the audience. That's when you can command a fee like that. People are like, well, I'm a £100,000 speaker. Really? How many people can you fill in a 5,000 seater? Right? It's just like, what are you talking about? And that's the thing. And so if you're, again, strategic with your speaking, you know, I do far more. That's not an invitation to invite me always to speak for free, but I do far more free gigs because I have more faith in my ability to sell. So to me, it's not about, and I'm not, you've seen me sell, I'm not a scarcity, go to the back room, there's only five, I sell in a certain way. And I'd rather do that because then it's up to me. I'm not chasing an invoice. I'm not getting pushed back. I like to be paid to speak as well. But my ability, my faith in myself to sell from stage, for it to yield a return, a bit like you talk about Les Brown. I'll spend 3 days connecting. I'll spend the time connecting with people. And when it comes to it, people are like, hey, hopefully they'll go for me because there's a connection with human beings. And like, I really liked Elliot and what he had to offer. And I believe he can get me the results. Not, oh, I paid him loads of money. He came, spoke and left. It's like, you know, and often a lot of speakers will do that. And that's what I mean, fee, flee or free. You got to speak to free. You can speak for free if you can sell. If you get a fee, you normally don't sell. And then if you can't do either, you flee. And you don't take it. Unless you're an aspiring speaker, you need to clock up the hours. So if there's no benefit, if it doesn't raise your brand awareness, then you flee. You just don't take it if it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And so that's what I operate to. And sometimes it means traveling to Vegas at my cost to believe that I can, you know, do it that way and I can get my return. But then it's also fully my responsibility to do that. Yeah. And a lot of speakers don't want to take that responsibility.
Well, they don't really want to market. Speaking is just marketing, right? You're marketing your knowledge to get people to see that you can actually help them with whatever your product or service is. And then they're like, wow, you're amazing. Of course I want to hire you because that's what I've been looking for. I mean, you know, the people that don't have that, this is a marketing platform, I'm not sure why they're speaking. If they're not actually out there to gain, you know, some type of credibility in the marketplace to say, yes, this is someone I need to connect with to bring them in for corporate trainings or to just hire them for whatever else you're doing. I mean, that's what you're in. You're in a room full of people that need to know you. They're incredible new strangers.
Yeah, we're all marketeers and we're all broadcasters. That's it. You know, that's what it's about. And I did have a really clever point, but it's in my mind. It
Our speakers can
really
we
wasn't very clever. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. It's really clever. It was going to be that one thing that's going to change everybody's life.
You'll have to come to the conference to find it.
That's it. If you want to know what it is,
you'll
come to the
remember by
conference.
the end.
Exactly. Yes. One of those things. I blame it on having baby brain.
Exactly. I know. It's funny because, you know, as I get older, the things that I can't remember anymore, I'm like, what?
I know. You know, I know this is going out in front of loads of people, but quickly. So I took my daughter away to see my mum, who's just moved back from America to the UK. And the amount of things I forgot to pack for her, I'm just like, oh. And I actually felt like a bad dad. Like, I forgot her teddies, like to sleep with. I forgot her toys to play with. I was like, I am a terrible father. But it just slipped my mind. Oh, anyway.
I know, you know, and that's why people, they only see us as these, you know, the stage speaker, expert person, and we all have lives, you know, and like just this last week, it was spring break, and my daughter spent her own money to fly him to go see her. He's 15, she's 23. So he spent a whole week in Oregon with his sister. And as a mommy, that made me feel so awesome that I had my kids grow up loving each other and wanting to spend time with each other.
That's priceless. I mean, that you just, all the success in the world can't make up for that. I mean, that is success, right?
Exactly.
You know, I was thinking about that today. I was thinking, what if all my journey, everything that I do, and I always say this is about being a great father and a great husband, but if all this personal development I did, you know, for a while ago, years ago, I did want to do the 10,000 big rooms, big stadiums, which is nice. But then I thought to myself, well, what if it's just about raising incredible human beings? Isn't that a greater legacy?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's really where I'm at now. And of course, I welcome the 10,000 stadiums. I've done big rooms.
Yeah.
But, you know, nothing can substitute what you've just explained. And I know this is nothing to do with speaking.
Like that 30 to 100 people, you know, those are just so great because you can actually get to talk with everybody. And to me, that's what it's all about, is those relationships you're building. I mean, that's really the exciting part.
Yeah, business is relationships.
So I can't believe how fast this has gone. So tell us, you have something incredible to offer our incredible listeners today.
Yes. So what we have is we've pioneered this whole methodology called the Speakers Method. And it's put together from working with thousands of entrepreneurs to use speaking as a growth strategy. That was the point I was going to make. That the point I was going to make is, we talk about using speaking as a growth strategy for your business. We don't necessarily churn out the Tony Robbins and Gary V's, but we're about how you integrate it as your business. And it's got 6 parts to it. So it's got confidence, brand message, signature talk, how to get booked, how to pitch and sell, and how to build a profile. And basically, we've got a 6-part series. Every 3 days, you get an email with information and action points on how to implement the Speakers Method in your business straight away. And that's what we'd love to give anybody watching this. And of course, once you're done with it, feel free to unsubscribe. But it is, I think, 8 emails with videos, with instructions. And then if you like what you see, of course, we can talk in between. But more than anything, I want to see people in London. I want to see people at the conference. I want to connect. I want to see you. So I believe this is going up to 65,000 plus people. Get your butts to London. Far more important. But if you can't get to London, sign up to ours, because it's Anik and I who you'll meet at the event. It's our unique methodology, and it's so effective and so powerful.
Awesome. So how do they get a hold of that?
So they need to go www.speakers. I got my own. See, baby brain. www.speakerexpress. So that's speakerexpress.co.uk/sign-up, and they'll get that. Do I need to repeat that?
So remember, everyone, it's .co, not .com.
Yes.
So it's .co.uk, because they have to
Yes.
be different.
Of course. /sign-up. Everyone knows what a hyphen, right? That's the same in America, yeah? Okay. I didn't know if you had a different name for it. Sign-up, and then you'll get the emails pretty much. So it's every 3 days. So just be aware, you do have to do your homework, and then you get an email every 3 days. Love to give that away. I'll send you the link anyway, Tonya.
Perfect. All right. And obviously, everyone, join that. Get a hold of that, because why wouldn't you? I mean, hello. And then also come and see Elliot in person. See myself in person in London, June 20th through the 22nd. London, England, not London, Kentucky. All right. London, England. And we're going to have a blast the whole time. So to go find out all the details is very inexpensive to attend. Go to Public Speakers with an S conference.com. So publicspeakersconference.com, and you'll find all the information right there. So yay! Thanks, Elliot, for being on today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, and look forward to seeing everyone, whether it's online or offline.
Perfect. All right, everyone. See you next time.